There are two paths, the direct path and the phenomenal path. And in fact, we simultaneously navigate on both paths.
I can pretty easily see going to this I am awareness, and then I don't know what I am. And we've also discussed what this has to do with our core fear. But what would you say are the, I don't know if you call them steps, but from the openness, the I don't know what I am, to this sort of full understanding of universality, how does one navigate that?
Well, there are two paths, the direct path and the phenomenal path. And in fact, we simultaneously navigate on both paths. The direct path is when we go to this glimpse of consciousness. In this moment, the experience of consciousness contains everything. In other words, it is not limited to our immortality. In this experience through which we know that we are immortal as consciousness, we know also that we are absolute happiness, absolute love, absolute intelligence, absolute beauty. It is not that all of these qualities are experienced in a serial fashion. In this glimpse, everything is given. That's a direct experience. And then this experience resonates in the body-mind structure and starts reorganizing it. This reorganization is not accomplished with one single glimpse. It's a succession of glimpses that become more and more frequent, that gradually reharmonizes the entire psychosomatic structure. That's the direct path, glimpse after glimpse after glimpse. And then the indirect path, or which I call the phenomenal path, is our conducting experiments in life. In other words, trying to live our life from the vantage point that consciousness is universal, that our reality is universal. Now, every time we make this attempt to live our life from this new perspective, there is going to be an outcome both in the world, in the events in the world, and also internally in terms of happiness, externally in terms of serendipity, meaning that internally increased harmony and externally increased harmony. And it is this outcome, every time we take this new position, that also experiment after experiment will build a body of evidence that consciousness is universal. So the first path, the direct path, is every time at the glimpse, we see it, we know it, we are it. We are this universal consciousness knowingly. And then that is the immediate path. And then the mediate path is by living our life in the world with our friends, with our loved ones, with the events that happen to us, with our thoughts, with our bodily sensations, with our sense perception. all of that, the outcome of this new way of relating to all of that, to others, to feelings, to thoughts, creates a gradually increased conviction that consciousness is universal.
Yeah. So if we accept that consciousness is universal, at least on a preliminary basis, and we live our life, I can say that, for example, for me, this kind of inquiry, self-inquiry, and this kind of, it only took me so far, but then I had to sort of started to play the role, and there was more feel like there was suddenly, it tasted more, so to speak, and that was of course a very sort of clear signal. So at least for me, I'd say that courage plays some part in it, that
Yes,
one gives the insights a chance to prove themselves.
yes, absolutely.